We renamed the area Harvest Town exhibit because we will be harvesting corn in our exhibit. I'm Kendall, this is Brent, that's David, and that's Tom. Basically, for the requirements that you gave us, we needed it to be safe for children as young as 6 months. The primary audience are going to be families and then children 3 to 6 years of age. So we wanted to make sure that the family and parents can have fun there too, not just for children. You had our initial budget. We didn't actually total up a budget, but it's probably a little bit over. We wanted to retain and improve upon the goal of the museum and emphasizing the environmental impact of our buildings and of our environment. We wanted to make it very interactive and also very educational, like always. And then also energy efficient displays will be featured with some really cool, neat, fun, interactive toys. And it's going to be fun and exciting. The previous space, or the space that it is now, is just kind of dull. But it does have some color, but we wanted to brighten it up a little bit with some new toys and new interaction so that children can learn something new that has already been there for a while. So we also kept a lot of things. We just add a little bit of improvement.
All right, so for our concept, Kendall kind of touched on it. We really just want to keep it fun, energetic, and whimsical. When they come to the museum, we want them to remember the farm and their experience that they went through with that. So if you check it out a little bit, it just shows you that we're introducing eco-friendly products, showing the advantages of green technology while showing that lifestyle on the farm. So, all right, so the sustainable products, 6 of them are already in there, going from your motion activated lights, programmable thermostat. For most of those, we're just kind of going to upgrade it, put current ones in there. And then we're introducing a windmill, and the windmill powers one of our conveyor belts, and it also powers some interior lights. So you'll see that in a little bit. So we did a little bit of bubble diagramming just to figure out how we wanted the flow to go, and I think that this is going to help out a lot when you see the pictures, just some of our pre-planning for that. So, and then here are some of our material selection. You can see our color palette up there. We have the barn red, some blue skies, green for nature, and then just keeping it fresh with the white. So as you can see in the top right, we have some recycled wood. Actually, I believe it's not wood, it's plastic that looks like wood. And then it doesn't splinter, so it'll be safer instead of all, the particle board that's there right now for the ramps and whatnot. And then we did expand the deck, so that's what that is made out of. And then if you see all the way on the far right, we have indoor grass. So the whole exhibit is going to be indoor grass, so if they really wanted to, they could take their shoes off, run in the grass, or be kids, whatever they would like to do. And then we have the silo and the windmill, which are some of our interactive features that you'll see on the next slide. And then the purple is the insulation. So what we did is we took out the fiberglass insulation that's in there now, and then just kind of showed some of the stuff that we're upgrading as far as the energy savings aspect.
And this is our general floor plan, proposed floor plan. We've moved the farmhouse from the corner to the existing corner here. We've moved the cow, and on the side we have our interactive corn exhibit and our interactive silo and conveyor belt, which you'll see in a moment. It's an interactive kind of thing for the children. We also have a hand painted mural done by a local artist. Kendall actually did it. But it really goes well with the corn exhibit and flows well with the rest of the space. And as you can see, we've got a larger porch, a picnic bench, and just more interactive space than for the children to be, not just on a floor surface. So.
All right, so this is the first elevation. This is the elevation looking towards the south and the exterior of the building on Main Street. You can see the nice mural that was painted by Kendall. It's got an interactive side to it that Kendall will touch on a little bit later, as well as the windmill, and you can also see the conveyor belt that leads to the silo up here in the corner. Then we have the other elevation, which faces towards the north, and this shows the picnic bench which is kind of nice for the adults to have a space to be able to sit and watch their children play, things like that, as well as the cow named Cow, we decided. And then you can see into the interior of the house a little bit. There's some new features in that. And then we just wanted to show a colored floor plan of the space, so you can see just what it looks like from above with everything in place. And then we have the first rendered view, which is what you're going to experience when you first see the space. You can see we kept with the hanging signs that were present throughout each exhibit space, so we just put in the Harvest Town sign hanging from the ceiling. Also within the ceiling, you can see back behind the sign there are clouds hanging down. Those are acoustical clouds, just like the first group had mentioned, incorporating the clouds, the nature aspect. Also some nice lighting. We went with some full spectrum lighting, which really brings out the best in the colors in the space, as well as gets the closest that there can be to having daylight within the space without actually having daylight in the space.
This is a rendering of the interior of the space, as well as you can see the new enlarged deck. The interior we've renovated a little bit. We've kept the same fixtures with the motion detection, and as well as the solar panels above. And we've updated some cabinets and gave them some more interactive cubby spaces and storage areas. We also kept with the same fencing throughout the space. Much of it is from the existing space. We've just repurposed it in different areas. So.
All right, so this is the interactive wall where the children can actually, there's gonna be Velcroed corn on the corn stalks that are painted on the murals. And they can take those off, and then they walk over to where the conveyor belt is, and they put their corn on there. And then they go over to the windmill, and then they actually crank it themselves, and through the power that they crank, like the wind solar power, it actually makes the conveyor belt move, and then it goes up the silo and drops down into a net, and then they can go pick it up. And then they can go walk up the ramp into the little house and kind of cook their corn per se in like the kitchen area, prepare it, and then they can go eat on the little picnic table with their family or something, hypothetically. But that was kind of our little interaction area. It's just kind of the start. You kind of just go in like a circle, kind of winding around the space.
All right, and then, yeah, this again is kind of looking at the entrance toward the right side, towards Cow. And then you can see again the purple insulation on the inside, a little bit of the upgrading. And then just touching back on where we started, I'm sure it's hard to keep some of these kids in the same area. So it's kind of, just they're making their little trek through there and hopefully gaining some knowledge. And then, yeah, just along the money aspect, like we said, since there's so many custom pieces in here, it's really tough to put a definite price on it. So just materials, I think we were roughly between 4 and 5. So we would need, a little bit more from those donors to get this accomplished. But hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. And then, of course, we'll take questions if you have them.